What's going on, everybody? TGIF and all that. This is Jason Francis, aka the Social Media Samurai, bringing you another edition of the Samurai Extension. This is my personal reply section to Madame Noire's Ask a Black Man, Season 2, and this was kind of a special week. There was not as much extra material dropped on this topic, so this will be a one-shot video just to kind of touch on it briefly. This week was the topic of fatherhood, black male fatherhood, and just basically talking about. The panel talked about a lot of apprehension they had entering fatherhood, concepts and ideas that they think about now in terms of raising a child and things along that line. Obviously, if you're watching this, hopefully you stopped above and watched the video for this week. And I'm not a father. Hopefully, God willing, I will be able to put myself in a space to fulfill that role at some point. But right now, I'm just gonna, add my 2 cents briefly to this topic. I'm definitely glad that it was included in this season's conversation topics. Obviously, with everything that's going on socially, with the various levels of opposition that are out there for black men, for black people as a whole, I think the importance of the father in people's lives, both male and female, is more pronounced than it's ever been. And I think one of the things going on right now is, and Madame Noire serves this purpose along with many other platforms on social media right now on these internets, so that this gives us an ability to control the narrative opposite of that mainstream media often puts out about black fathers. When you hear that title, that label, it's often linked with deadbeat, with irresponsible. It's usually linked black father or absentee, resulting in single black mothers and things of that nature. And while we can't deny that it's out there as part of our reality, I think it is far more overstated, and I think the positive responsibility owning black man, black father is more of a reality than we would think if we leave it up to mainstream media to tell it to us. But what I notice is that a lot of the fathers who fill this role, they're not looking for praise. They're not out there, thinking they're deserving of some award, so they're not necessarily sharing the stories like that. Whereas a lot of the sob stories and a lot of the unfortunate things that go on in society just seem to lean themselves, storytelling-wise, more so to the various platforms and communicative mediums that we're so used to following, and that's what we get, Even if it's a situation where the couple, the parents aren't necessarily together still, we don't often hear stories of positive co-parenting. It's always very extreme to the left of, the father's not there, doesn't want to be there, which, I'll be perfectly honest, is something that it's mind-blowing to me. I don't know how you necessarily feel, you play that part in creating a life and then step out and say, yeah, I want nothing to do with this. It's just kind of odd to me. The father experience that I come from, nothing flashy about my dad. He 34. He had me 2 years into his marriage. I believe he was 30 when he had me. I remember right. 32. He was 32 when he had me, and basically it was a very simple story. I'm sure it's a story that a lot of people who follow me can connect to. Parents came from the islands, came from Antigua. His job was to build a family and present them with as many opportunities as he could, opportunities he didn't have. Not once, even through the short period when our home burnt down, very quickly he had us back up on our feet. It was never a night where we went without food. It was never a situation where we went without clothing. Again, nothing flashy about my dad. He wasn't, he wasn't a writer or a poet or anything that we would look at as being dynamic like that. But when you look at the world and what we deal with, he is the ideal model and blueprint of what a father is supposed to be. He put my brother and I in a position to go to school, to be, academically successful, put us in a position to try out things. I don't play any instruments, but he gave us the ability to try it out when we were younger and have anything, negative to say about it. Let us try out sports and do different things and just live the life that this, this American dream puts out and advertises to so many people who aren't natives to this country. So when I look at that, that's one of the reasons why personally I haven't stepped into that space as of yet, because I feel that for me to become a father, I need to be able to provide my child, be it a son or a daughter, or multiples, depending on what happens. But I need to be able to provide them at the very least what my father provided me. And with the things that I do that are different from him, the way the world is now, it's just different from him. It's taking more time because I'm building different things. The economic system is different. The value to your dollar and to what salaries are right now are a little different. But that's just the path I'm taking. But again, I think it's important that we control the narratives of what people know and initially think of when it comes to black fatherhood. You don't need to do it in a manner where you're asking for attention, asking for, some sort of congratulatory response for what you do, because the truth is you're doing what you're supposed to do. But I think sharing the experiences, sharing the stories that take place in fatherhood is a perfect way to really combat the negative storylines and the negative imagery that goes out so much about us. And while I'm not one to say boycott certain things or hurt other independent businesses, we need to be careful what we support with our dollar too. We need to be careful what we watch and support on TV and online and on movies, because a lot of these negative stereotypes are still what's being pumped out to us in a lot of media and a lot of projects, a lot of stuff that we put out. We know that a train wreck is going to get an audience, and an audience is what leads to ad dollars. And some people just aren't going to leave that formula alone until we forcefully show that's not what we want to see. So, again, we have that power. We might not run networks, though. I mean, there's some people with the ability to do such, but whatever they want to do for their bottom dollar. But we, as just the regular everyday people, I think we need to do a better job of that. And what's funny, this is happening right on the eve of Mother's Day weekend, which moms, and deservedly so, are going to get showered with their praise for everything that they do. And I'm not one. I don't like saying Mother's Day, so say Father's. Like, hey, everybody, you have your own day. Mother's Day, give it up to the mothers. Father's Day, give it up to the fathers. But regardless of either of those days, year-round, 365, we need to make sure that we're giving people a balanced viewpoint of the people who are out here really putting in work. And like we said, the majority of them aren't asking for any sort of notice or any sort of acclaim for what they do. So this was week 4. This is week 4 of the second season of Ask a Black Man. This has been the Samurai Extension. My name is Jason Francis. If you feel inclined to follow me or want to hear anything else that I have to say, you can look below. You'll see the links to, let me see, I believe it's links to Facebook, to Twitter. I believe my LinkedIn is there. Maybe Foursquare. I don't know. I'm blanking out right now. It's been a long week. I'm waiting on some information that's kind of had me bouncing off the walls. But once again, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. The weather in New York is breaking very lovely, so I hope you're able to take that time to enjoy with your mothers for this weekend. And again, hope everything is good. We'll see you next week.